ang tingin nila dito, selective justice. So for them, dapat hindi i-file or mali yung basis. But with all due respect to them, mali ang INC. The INC is misguided and they are misleading the public. With all due respect to them, no, of course, they're an older institution than I am. I'm just a very young political commentator, no. Pero misguided because mali yung sinasabi nila na walang basis yung kaso. There's evidence already to show that Senator Marcoleta collected or acquired under the plunder law. You acquire more than 50 million, that's already plunder. Mali yung sinasabi na kailangan sa kaban ng bayan or galing sa taxes. That's not true. We have to remember si Jinggoy Estrada noon, along with his dad, Erap, were charged with plunder for weteng. Weteng is not taxes. Those are kickbacks. What about the immigration agents? Panahon ni President Duterte, extortion against Jack Lam. Saktong 50 million. I don't know if you remember that, Sir Willard. Very funny kasi may nawalang 1,000. They were trying to downgrade it from 50 million to 49.99 million lang para hindi pumasok sa plunder.
Para malusutan yung threshold.
Yes, but the PNP or the police back then, the DOJ, they said, hindi, yung nawawala na yan, it doesn't matter after the fact. Nung nahuli, 50 million. And yung 50 million na yon, hindi yon taxes. Private money din yun ni Jack Lam. Extortion, that was also plunder. So plunder doesn't require stealing from taxes. It can be gifts. It can be private kickbacks or private donations, which is what Senator Marcoleta admitted. 75 million, not just 50.
Ang sinasabi ni Attorney Salvador Panelo, possible graft pwede pang isampa pero hindi raw plunder dahil ang issue may campaign donation at hindi ito properly disclosed at hindi naman walang pagnanakaw na involved.
Well, yung sa campaign donation, i-discuss din natin yun before I answer whether or not it's plunder, no? Sabi na ng COMELEC, hindi eh. That is why Senator Marcoleta is being charged for plunder because he was trying to escape an election offense. And nobody else is to be blamed kundi siya. He incriminated himself. Like a show like this, he has his own show. Senator Marcoleta, meron siyang show. Nobody prodded him, nobody forced him to admit na meron siyang quote-unquote mga kaibigan na nagbigay na ayaw magpalagay sa SOSE. Kasi ini-issue siya sa SOSE last year, mga November 2025, so he was forced to explain. Ang palusot niya, hindi ko nilagay kasi ayaw nila magpalagay, which put him in hotter water. Because, meron ka palang donors, hindi mo dineclare. So, ang naging palusot nila sa COMELEC, nung nagkaroon na ng COMELEC case, Professor Danilo Araw, represented by Attorney Dino De Leon, they filed an election offense complaint against Senator Marcoleta. Ang final na counter affidavit to ni Senator Marcoleta, ang defense niya, it was outside the campaign period. So, hindi na pwede pag-usapan yung campaign donation eh. Kasi dinismiss na nga ng COMELEC, naniwalang COMELEC na hindi siya campaign donation. Ano ngayon ang problema? Kung hindi siya campaign donation because it was outside the campaign period, he was a congressman noon. If it was outside the campaign period, it was a normal or regular quote-unquote gift. As I said kanina, the plunder law, letter B, says any gift, kickback, or commission given by reason of office is chargeable for plunder. So, with all due respect as well to Attorney Sal Panelo, kahit sinabi niyang graft, it can actually be both. Look at Senator Jinggoy. He has both plunder and graft cases. So dito sa kaso ni Senator Marcoleta, it's both. Kasi more than 75, more than 50 million eh.
Ang threshold.
75 million ang receive niya outside of the campaign period by reason of his office.
Given this show of force of the Iglesia, do you see the administration caving in? Hindi na nila itutuloy itong pagsampa ng plunder case laban kay Senator Marcoleta?
Well, I definitely doubt that the ombudsman will cave in. No? When we say nga the government, the people are thinking baka the administration, meaning PBBM. But we have to remember the ombudsman is an independent constitutional body. And I don't think Ombudsman Boying Remulla, based on his bravado and his attitude recently, is the type to back down. So that's one. No? But second, bakit naman magba-back down? With all due respect to the INC, no, they have to show a bigger force. Maliit pa to Sir Willard. We have to compare INC's rally nung November 2025, where it was like hundreds of thousands. Ang police estimate lang so far ngayon kahit nakaka-traffic, is mga 15,000. Bakit nakaka-traffic sa EDSA ngayon? Kasi hinarang nila yung mga bus mga new era bus na pagmamayari ng INC, kulang ang tao doon actually, Sir Willard. It looks crowded, but a lot of them are parked cars or buses. So kulang pa yung show of force. With all due respect, I don't think this is the show of force that will make anyone in the administration or the ombudsman quiver.
Yun nga sana itatanong ko na, tingin nyo po ba ay hahantong ito sa isang bagong people power?
Malabo eh. Malabo. Ang mga problema ng mga anti-Marcos, na when I say anti-Marcos, not the Pinklawan because Kiko D. Aquino and the Atom Movement, they've clarified that they are still anti-Marcos. Ang problema ng mga anti-Marcos na DDS, from the INC to Senator Marcoleta to Mike Defensor, they could never gather the critical mass because wala sa kanila ang Catholic Church, wala sa kanila ang civil society, and wala din sa kanilang Pinklawan. So before the AFP or the military and the police join in terms of withdrawal of support, because that's what we've seen in history, you need the Catholic Church and the civil society first. The DDS don't have that because they have a credibility problem. Credibility in terms of calling out corruption. How can they have credibility in calling out corruption when a lot of their personalities are also accused of corruption? Let's look at INC first kasi sila yung nag-surprise rally. What's the credibility of INC in rallying against corruption? They've endorsed Jinggoy Estrada and Bong Revilla multiple times, despite the two of them, these two senators, having been accused multiple times of plunder. Wala pang acquittal nun as at May 2022 elections, the INC endorsed Senator Jinggoy. His plunder case was still pending. There was no acquittal yet. And yet, in-endorse nila. So they have a credibility problem when they're rallying and calling out against corruption, but they are endorsing people accused of corruption.
So Jess, you obviously don't buy the stated objective of the INC spokesperson. Ang sabi nila, hindi tutol ang INC sa pagpapatupad ng batas, pero tutol kami sa pagbaluktot ng batas, lalo na kung ang layunin ay para pagtakpan ang katiwalian.
Paano man nababaluktot yung batas when any normal reading of the plunder law, even by non-lawyers? Remember, Sir Willard, suspended ako and I can say that on air. Kahit suspended ako, hindi ako si Senator Marcoleta who incriminated himself. As I said kanina, nobody forced Senator Marcoleta to give the ombudsman all the evidence that they need. Walang nag-produce ng evidence except Senator Marcoleta. Anong evidence ng ombudsman? Affidavits filed in the COMELEC saying it was donated before the campaign period and he accepted it. That is all the evidence that the ombudsman needs. So paano na binabaluktot yung batas doon? May ebidensya.
You think, Jess, connected ito sa impeachment trial din ni VP Sara?
Oh yes, sabi ko kanina surface level yung kay Senator Marcoleta. But now we're hearing yung mga participants mismo na nandun. May mga rabid DDS personalities who are saying na VP Sara should attend the rally, no, and show support and be ready in case ma-oust si President. Hindi ako nagsasabi nun that was either Caselis or Jing Paras, who are very rabid DDS personalities, no? And so what does that mean in relation with the impeachment? That if they are successful in ousting BBM, wala nang impeachment because by virtue of succession, Sara Duterte will become the president. So, obviously, it is a way to stop the impeachment trial because they're hoping to garner critical mass for the same template of EDSA 1 and EDSA 2, which is people power style with withdrawal of support from the AFP and PNP.
The side nga of Senator Rodante Marcoleta is claiming that the impending plunder case is meant to take him off the impeachment trial. Your thoughts?
Very wrong kasi November 2025 pa nga yung kaso. Bakit nag-start ng November? Kasi nga yung sarili niyang bunganga, ang isda nahuhuli sa sariling bibig. Walang pumilit sa kanya mag-radio show noon or mag-TV show. Sinabi niya. So nag-investigate yung ombudsman. Wala pang impeachment noon. So yung sinasabi na lahat ng mga ina-aresto daw na senador ngayon ay dahil sa impeachment, si Jinggoy, yung mga pwede pang arestoin na iba, ang tagal na ng mga cases nila na niluluto. Tapos sasabihin nila, tina-timing sa impeachment. Ngayon nga huminog. So bakit nila sisisihin na ngayon nata-timing sa impeachment?
Oo. 6 days away na lang at start na ng impeachment trial. Jess, tingin mo ba matutuloy ang pagsisimula ng trial na ito?
Oh, definitely matutuloy because the government is already prepared to resist or repel any efforts for destabilization for this week. no? But of course, they should not be complacent. But next week, the Senate is very much prepared under Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, who, as Senate President, signed as the presiding officer of the impeachment court for the pre-trial order. So they are very ready because they're already, I think they're already done with all the preparations needed. So all that has to happen is for July 6 to come, which is what the DDS do not want.
Tingin mo ba may posibleng gulo na mangyari sa July 6?
Baka may gulo this week, before July 6, going into July 6, no? Pero kapag nagsimula na yung July 6, mag-fizzle out lahat nitong mga attempts to destabilize or rally because alam naman natin ang Pilipino, mahilig tayo sa teleserye. So pag nag-start ng impeachment trial, papanoorin na yan ng mga tao and they will say, wag na tayong manggulo. Let's just wait for the process to finish. Regardless of the results, conviction or acquittal. So mag-fizzle out yung mga rally once the trial starts.
How should the authorities just respond? First, the LGU, who has the authority to issue permits to the police. Tama ba na mag-exercise sila ng maximum tolerance? And syempre yung palasyo that's monitoring all these.
First, sa Quezon City LGU, no, I don't think it was Mayor Joy who approved the permit, no. Ang nakita ko, it was sa DPOS, parang isang department, no. With all due respect to DPOS, they should have extracted more concessions from the rallies because they granted the permit for tomorrow, not for today. So, hindi nilegalize yan ng Quezon City for today. Dapat, kung bibigyan ng permit for tomorrow, sinabihan nila yung mga organizers na, bibigyan namin kayo ng permit, but you have to remove yung buses. You have to remove the cars. Kasi kaninang umaga talagang gusto nilang harangin buong EDSA. Pati yung flyover, ginawang parkingan. Which leads me to the second agency. Yung second agency before the police, no, ang gusto ko dyan tingnan yung MMDA. The MMDA has already said naman, Chairman Artes and General Manager Nicolas Torre na they will impound and tow. Pero syempre may nakikita tayo viral sa social media. Si Sir Gabriel Go na talagang nag-i-impound ng mga wrongfully, illegally parked obstruction na vehicles. Dapat yan ang ginagawa dun sa mga buses, dun sa mga kotse na nakapark doon. And then of course, the administration or Malacanang mismo, no, I think aalis bukas si PBBM to Canada. May mga nagsasabi, like si Montulfo, na dapat hindi na siya umalis. But I think the Malacanang has said na aalis pa din. Pero madaming precautions na ginawa na. So, tuloy lang sa lahat ng precautions because bawal makampante. We never know what the destabilizers could do or in the next few days.